Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
All right.
Hello.
So I've been sick for like the last 5 days.
Hello from Brian's stuffy nose.
So we'll see how long this one lasts. I'll go until I can't go anymore. And so I apologize for any coughs or sniffles or whatever. But yeah, we're back.
Hello.
Hello. And my voice is probably going to sound different. So I apologize. Yeah, this is episode 215 of the Rope Dropping Knowledge podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. We missed you guys. We're still pretty active on social media, so we still talk to you guys there, but we like doing this. So what do you want to talk about first? I guess we could talk about
Our new giveaway.
Oh, yeah. So for November, we only, even though this is Disney's 100th celebration, we only did one 100th giveaway, and that was the platinum gift set that we did. We gave away two, one with podcast mics for Magic, and then one for you guys, and then we haven't really acknowledged it as far as giveaways this year. So we figured we had to do at least one more platinum before the year ends.
Yes.
And so we're doing it for this month. We're doing it for November. And we went to the parks and we bought a platinum Mickey popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
And I know there's two colors of them, but we wanted to get the platinum one.
Yeah.
Because,
there was like a purple one too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really.
Well, it's
platinum.
not platinum. So why am I going to get you a purple one? It isn't,
I mean, it's not made of real platinum. It's just.
You
looks
can
platinum.
imagine. Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine. So I think you can only get popcorn buckets in park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be cool for people who haven't gotten to the parks or can't get to the parks before the end of the year.
Yeah. We'll start to do more of in-park exclusive giveaways.
In park and small business. I think that's
Yes.
that's kind of the best ones.
Yeah.
And then, we're gonna throw in a little extra. We got Disney 100 Platinum $25 Disney gift card
Yes.
to go along with it. And it
So
matches.
you get a gift card and a popcorn bucket.
Yep. So this particular giveaway is going to end on December 2nd because, with our new scheduling and me being sick, we wanted to give you a little extra time to enter, or else it would be very short. And, I mean, next week is Thanksgiving. You had to remind me of that.
Yeah, that's
it's a
crazy.
trip. Yeah.
Because the stores don't have anything. By 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, the grocery stores used to be filled with there was a whole in the middle of the aisle kind of thing where they have all these stuffing, gravy, cranberry, all this stuff. But there was nothing. I went to the store on Sunday and there was nothing.
My
and they
nose
said,
has
"Oh, next
stuffing
week."
in it.
They're like, "Oh, next week." But I'm like, "Next week's Thanksgiving, so we only get 3 days to shop."
Yeah.
So that was weird. But I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with things are expensive. I don't know.
My throat, my ears have stuffing now. Everything's stuffed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so year is slipping away from us. So 2023 is almost over. So all you have to do to win this giveaway is, since it's the 100th year anniversary, just answer this question. What would you like to see from Disney in the next 100 years? Now, I know we're going to get some people to be like, well, I'm not going to be around. Doesn't matter. It's like they say, wise men plant trees knowing they'll never enjoy the shade. Right? So in the next 100 years.
Enjoy if it's the next 100, within
the
starting
next 100
tomorrow.
years.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow. But some things people might be really big, like another park or something, and that might take another 100 years. So no. So yeah, just anything. It could be, and it doesn't necessarily have to be from the parks. It could be from the movies. It could be from Disney Plus. It could be from cruises or whatever. If you want to see a Disney on Mars, that's cool too. Nothing
The new name
out
will
of
be
bounds.
Apple.
Apple, yeah, that'd be cool.
In 100 years, it won't be called Disney anymore. It'll be called Apple.
With the stock prices, it
Apple
might be.
Disney. Disney Apple? Walt Apple? Apple
Yeah.
Walt? I don't know.
the stock prices keep going down, it might be Dollar Tree. So, but yeah. So this will end on the second Saturday, December 2nd, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be doing a December giveaway, and then of course we always end the year with superfan stuff. So yes, you can enter via rope dropping info at ropedroppingknowledge.com, or DM us through Facebook or Instagram, and for every medium you use, you get an additional entry. Must be 18 years or older and live in the United States. I think that's it for that, right?
Yes.
Pretty much. Cool. All right. Good luck.
So we were at the parks for our anniversary, to celebrate our anniversary a few days early. We were there Friday and Sunday,
So technically one day
November
early. Yeah.
3rd and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Only because we are blocked on Saturday. Believe Key is blocked on Saturday for the rest of the year. And we will never let it go because
Because we were going to upgrade and they
we were
wouldn't
going
let
to upgrade, and they were like, just kidding.
us.
You can't.
Literally that day, like
Yeah.
or the day after,
No, it was the day before. We were supposed to go to the parks on Saturday to upgrade. But
Oh, yeah.
that Friday, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, Magic Key sales have been paused.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anywho. So, yes. So we were there Friday and then took a break Saturday and came back Sunday.
Mm.
Stayed on property on Sunday. On Friday, we just had a low-key day. We were there. We didn't get there till the afternoon, and we just stayed at DCA.
Mm-hmm.
We got Genie Plus anyways,
Yeah.
and we just chilled.
Yeah.
Got the popcorn bucket.
Went on
Did
some
we?
rides.
Did we?
I think that's the day we got it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the popcorn bucket. Went on some rides. Went to the Magic Key Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And got the Magic Key medallions.
Yeah.
And I know we were wondering, and people were asking about whether you have to make a reservation to go up there to get the coins. So when I asked the cast member, it wasn't a straight answer. So here's my explanation. Here's what they explained. So I asked, so do we have to make a reservations to use this machine to get the coins here? And she says, maybe. Because at first they were like, yes, you have to make a reservation to come up here to buy the medallions. Just to come up there.
Yeah.
But then they realized people would make reservations and then just order an iced tea, buy the medallion coin, and leave.
Yeah.
And so that took up a lot of
Yeah.
time and space because
And was a waste of money because they're taking up a reservation from somebody who might have dropped $100 on dinner. Right?
Yeah,
So,
a whole meal. And, the servers not getting tipped, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
yeah.
So anyways, so then she said, so then we stopped it and we said, okay, fine, you can come up here just to buy the medallions. But then it started getting too hectic and crazy because, it's upstairs. So there's not a lot of standing room.
There's not a queue,
Yeah.
really.
So then they're like, no, okay, never mind. So now they're kind of like, it depends on the day.
Yeah.
If it's crowded, they might be like, no, you have to have a reservation. If not, it's like, okay, go up, get it, and come back down. Like and then they have to have staff monitoring because
Because you can just sit down.
yeah, you could just sit down and they wouldn't know. So that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to control.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they're probably rethinking it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to do that again.
so she's like, yes and no. It's like, all right.
But
that's the long
We got
story.
our set. We already made a post about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're gold ones. They're not the silver ones like the 100.
Yeah.
So
So
nice.
yeah.
So yeah, we did that. I don't know what else we did that day. Is that the day? Oh yeah, we got the tote that day.
Oh, the tote.
Yeah, and honestly, because
was a
this
Friday.
past Saturday it was like what
A 3-hour
a
line.
3-hour line. I'm like, I'm not standing on a 3-hour line to get a tote. I'm not going to stand on a 3-hour line for Rise of Resistance. Why would I stand in there
Yeah,
to get
for a tote. Yeah.
You know.
Because I saw the line and it was long. It was like so it's where you get it is where the symphony swings are. But it was like it opens at 2:00, and
Mhm.
exactly 2, the line was all the way, like 150, not 2.
Yeah.
The line was all the way like where the coffee cart is.
Yeah, it goes
Kinda?
past. It goes down where the if you guys go there during Christmas, the Fat Cat Swingers play.
Yeah.
Past that stage and then on up to the coffee
Almost,
cart.
yeah.
Almost to the coffee
So I
cart.
was like, oh, forget it, just whatever. I'll just because the line hasn't opened yet, so it
yeah,
hasn't
so
moved.
it was
so
at
that's
its
why.
maximum.
Yeah. So, but then we hopped on Little Mermaid, and then afterwards you're like, oh, let's just stand in it. It looks like it's moving fast.
Yeah,
So it did move fast. We
Yeah,
were in line for
yeah,
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they probably went through because all they're doing is handing them out.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Because they check your Magic Key first.
it's not like loading a ride where you have to do
Oh,
this
yeah.
and then
They do have to scan your Magic
But-
Key.
yeah, but it's not like
But
they
that's
gotta
fast.
push up on the bar and do,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all this stuff, and put in somebody
like a
with
ride
a
queue.
mobility scooter and
Yeah.
it's just scan, grab, scan,
Yeah.
grab,
And a
then-
different person scans and a different.
yeah,
group
and,
of
and they,
people
they had
scan.
more than one person giving them away
Yeah.
on each side of a table. So
Yeah, so it went by fast. And it was a Friday.
yeah, that's
that
true.
was something different because we rarely go on Fridays. So it went faster than last Saturday. Somebody said it was 3 hours. I was like, what? That's crazy. 3 hours?
Dude, if you're
I'm just gonna buy
Disney,
one.
if that continues to happen, if I had my Chapek hat on, I would do it like every month because I could take a 3-hour line has got to be like 1,000 people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if I could take 1,000 people, get them to pay for a ticket, but take them out of a queue, take 1,000
Ah.
people out of the queue and just put them in line for a tote.
Well, that's what they're
Hmm.
doing because they want the unfavorables out of the way.
Yeah,
stand
but
it
I
up
mean,
so
for
that-
10 minutes, it's fine.
So
But 3 hours? 3 hours?
Yeah, that's something JPEG would love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I put on my Chapek hat, I would do it every month.
Here's a free cheap bag.
Yeah.
Get
Here's-
out of the queues and
It's
let the
basically,
tourists-
I mean, the bags, it's cool. The design is cool and it's unique. And I know why people want stuff like that. It's the same reason we got the coins. It's like it's something that other people can't get.
Yeah, it's a collectible.
It's a collectible.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as far as the quality of the bag, it's the ones, it's like the canvas bags that you buy
It's
at the
worse
store.
than the canvas bag. It's like
No, it's the ones you
fabric.
get at like Vons. You know,
Yeah.
it's the grocery bags that are
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
better than paper,
yeah.
but it's like it's a reusable grocery bag.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
You know, with Disney decorations and
Mhm.
art. So, I mean, is it worth 10 minutes? Yeah. You know, and we're 2 people, so we got 2. But
Mhm.
it's 3 hours?
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth 3 hours.
3 hours? Oh my god.
I mean,
Like
at
why
that
would
point,
you even go to the
just-
park? That's like half a day at the park almost.
At least
I
it's
mean,
in DCA where you can just grab a beer and stand there for 3 hours or 2.
oh
beers.
man. 3 hours. I don't understand that. I question the sanity of the people who stand in a 3-hour line for a tote at Disneyland. Like I could see it if it was like at like a park and it was like some collectible.
I could see it if it was for the free Magic Band. If you stood in the
No, I could see it if you
Elias-
didn't already pay to get into the park.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you spent 200 and some people are spending. Well, it's Magic
Well,
Keys,
it's Magic Keys,
so
so
they didn't spend a lot to get in the park.
Yeah.
But still, you're there. I mean, they paid for parking, they paid for whatever and some of these people coming from LA.
that could be why too.
I would not be driving an hour and a half. Even from our house, like it's like an hour and 20, an hour and 10. I'm gonna
Yeah.
drive an hour and 10 minutes, pay parking, and then standing a 3-hour line for a tote. No, it's not happening, man. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. But I think what happens is they don't know it's 3 hours,
Yeah,
and then when it gets to be like an hour and a half,
they're like, oh,
the-
we're already here.
the sunk cost fallacy
Yeah,
creeps in, and then it's like, well, we already spent an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I gotta,
like how we were at.
I'd be stupid if I left now,
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
just,
oh, well.
just like how we were at Web Slingers for 40 minutes when it was supposed to be only 20.
Yeah, I know. Well, it broke down.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is. All right. So what else?
So then we took a break on Saturday, went out to dinner with my mom and sister. And then on Sunday we came back.
Yep.
And we stayed at Paradise Pier.
Mhm.
And might be our last time there before it becomes Pixar Place Hotel.
Yeah, because they're sold out. I think we're
hoping
going.
we were hoping to get it on December 1st, but they're sold out.
They're sold out.
They're sold out, or the only room available
Every
is
hotel
like,
is sold out.
yeah.
On
Oh,
property.
now it is.
Yeah.
Oh, when we checked, the only room available was like the $1,500 one bedroom suite or whatever.
Yeah.
And so
No.
we've been checking, but my theory is that because they're opening soon on January 30th, and when we stayed there, it was still themed after the rooms were still Paradise Pier themed. So I think they closed off a lot of the rooms to retheme them. That's
Yeah.
why there's not a lot of regular rooms available.
Maybe.
That's my theory, but
Mm.
who knows? Anyways, so then our day there on Sunday was fun. We got to meet up with Kevin and Christina for the last time.
Yeah. They're canceling their passes.
They're not renewing because they're having a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and so
But they're going to take my advice, though.
yes, Christina says as soon as they go on sale again, she's gonna just get it. And
Yeah, let theirs
no-
expire,
Yeah,
and then buy as a new
yeah,
one,
key
and
or
just
whatever.
don't go
Yeah,
until
until she's ready.
and they have up to a year.
Like summer, I think she said they'll come back maybe summerish, like when the kid is like 6 months old. She
Right.
doesn't want to take it when it's too small.
Yeah, but you want to make sure you buy it, or else you're not going.
Yeah,
You never know when they do these pauses and
Yeah.
stuff. So whenever it goes on sale, just snatch it up, and then you have a year from that date.
Yeah.
And then to use it.
So we had a good day. We went to Trader Sam's.
Yep.
We only had a reservation for the two of us, but sometimes if you're nice and you go to the cast member ahead of time and say, "Hey, can we add 2 more people?" Just don't do it at the time of your reservation. Do it
Yeah.
before.
Mm-hmm.
And the cast member who's at the host, she'll go back and ask the manager or the lead.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I'm not sure. Let me ask." And then she asks, she's like, "Oh yeah, of course." And so
Yeah.
because most of the tables there are table
for
of
4,
4.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Now, if you gotta add like 4 people, I don't
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
not gonna happen.
yeah,
But if you only add 1 or 2, I think it's gonna
Mhm.
be fine.
it should be okay. So and it was Sunday night, so
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So that was a cool day. A little bittersweet because we're not going to see Kevin and Christina at the parks for a while, but we're gonna get a new niece out of it. So that'd be good.
yes.
It's all good. I don't know if we did anything spectacular or different that day, other than Trader Sam's. I mean, I think
Trader Sam's.
we went on some rides. We went on Space Mountain.
We introduced Kevin
went-
to that blueberry lemonade from
Oh
Pim's, and he loved it.
yeah.
Christina was like, "Oh, let me just smell it," because they're really strict. She wouldn't even take a sip. Or
Yeah, she
Kevin
doesn't
wouldn't
even
let
drink
her.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Now,
So there
she's
was,
pregnant.
and then Kevin was kind of like, we went on Web Slingers, and the rule for pregnant women is that if it has a height requirement, pregnant women can't ride it.
Mhm.
So Web Slingers doesn't have a height requirement. So Christina's like, "I can ride it," and Kim's like, "I don't know. You have to move your hands too much. It's too much exercise." And she's like, "It's fine. I'll be fine." So he was kind of nervous about it. He even asked the cast member, like, "Well, it's up to you, but if it doesn't have a height requirement, technically pregnant women can go on it, but it's all up to you." And he's like, "I don't know." But it was fine because she's
Yeah.
competitive. So she even got the highest score even when
I
she's
know.
pregnant. So, yeah. But,
Yep.
yes. So, yes, Kevin really liked that lemonade thing
Mhm.
from Pim's. And
It's good. Still think it should have been called the Thanos Pop.
I know, huh?
It's purple
Yeah.
and it messes with your mind. So
Yes.
and it's balanced.
It is balanced.
Yep.
Perfectly balanced.
As
I
all
think we're
things
just going to
should be.
rename it the Thanos drink.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Thanos Pop.
So,
So that was pretty much our day or 2 days there. Good time. We will be back on the 1st. We were thinking about coming back, maybe popping in on what is it? The 21st or
Oh,
the
the
22nd?
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
22nd.
Yeah.
Don't know if we'll do that or not. If we do, we'll let you guys know. And we might pop in on the 30th, which is the day before the 1st. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how work goes. But yeah. But the 1st will definitely be the last day we go in 2023.
Yes, and when it's food, the festival of holidays
Mm-hmm.
going on, so that's why we wanted to stay on property. But then there's no hotels on property available.
Yeah, we didn't really think ahead. We could have probably booked, a couple months in advance, but we weren't even thinking that far. We're just
Well, we thought that Saturdays. In the past, we had all these Saturdays.
And I don't like
left.
having credit card. You guys know me. I'm against paying interest or anything. So if we stay at a place and I see like a big balance on my credit card, like I'm not booking anything until I pay it off. I was like, I'm paying this off this month. And then, yeah, we'll see. I pay things off in chunks. Tracy spends in chunks. So
Yes, it all depends on how much I spend.
yeah. So, but we did have a good anniversary, and
Can I tell him what you got me?
what things? I got you.
Yeah, but
I
at
got you like
Disney.
6 things.
No, but this cool thing he got me was a time stick. I call it a prune stick,
Yeah.
but it's a time stick
Mm.
because it's our bronze anniversary and it looked the bronze.
We'll post it for you.
Yeah, I took a video and it's really cool, and so we got it at Avengers Vault.
Yep. I
And
never thought I
it's-
would buy anything from there, but
Yeah, and I saw, I'm like, oh my god, it's the prune stick. It's called a time stick, but I like calling it a prune stick because it's to prune you.
Yeah. So those of you who watch Loki or are fans of Loki, you guys know what the TVA time sticks are.
Yeah.
They have a couple of functions. The big one is to prune people out of a timeline, but it can also like do things like hit people when they fall in slow motion, like in episode 1 of the first season. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's hefty. It was worth
Yeah,
the
it's
money.
pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not cheap. So, yeah, it's like Tracy's lightsaber.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I'm
lights
gonna-
up, makes cool sounds, makes the
Yes.
pruning sound if
The
you
pruning
strike
sound.
just right. And so, yeah.
It's to prune Cap. He wasn't supposed to go back to the Peggy
if we
timeline.
ever bring it to the park, that would be for the only purpose. I want to see you try to prune Cap.
I'll be like, this is for you. You weren't supposed to take all those stones. You were supposed to go give it back, not use it to go back in time
Mhm.
to dance with Peggy. That is a branched timeline.
Technically, it is.
Yeah, where was the TVA? Why didn't they
Mm,
prune him?
I think it depends how he did it. If he did it,
He probably used the time stone.
well, that's what they said in
Oh,
Rogers
no.
the Musical.
He didn't use it to.
So Rogers the Musical
Oh.
is different than the cinematic universe. So we don't know exactly
oh yeah,
how
we
he
said
did
we
it.
talk about that. So in Rogers the Musical, he used the time stone
Mm-hmm.
to go back. In
And
Avengers,
but he also met a
Endgame-
variant of himself. That was
Yeah. In Avengers Endgame, he used that Pym thing.
yeah, he just shot past it and stayed. But we don't know exactly what the rules of the sacred timeline are. So there's an old saying that even time travel is a part of history.
Right. When the Avengers went back and forth, that was part of the sacred timeline
Correct.
in Endgame.
Yeah. Well, according to Renslayer, anyway.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool way to look at it. Like no matter what kind of shenanigans you do with time travel, history is still history. So it's kind of like you're doing it within the span of history. You could change history, but somebody looking back could still look back and be like, yeah, that was probably changed by time travel or that. Like if we had the technology
Yeah.
and somebody changed ours and we're here today, we could probably look back and be like, oh, I could see that was like somebody meddled with time there. That probably shouldn't have happened like that. That was the probability of that happening is like 6 billion to 1. So somebody
Mm.
messed with that,
Mm.
So Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll come out with an official.
It's too confusing. Just prune him. That's too confusing.
Just
I
to be
mean-
safe.
He's supposed to be here to help Sam and Bucky, like in the sacred timeline,
Yeah.
on their main time, whatever.
But the sacred timeline is still Kang's timeline. It's like it's
Yeah.
not like that's the best timeline. It's the one he likes because it's not
Yes.
producing any rivals.
Yes. Yeah.
So even that's not organic. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's like even the quote unquote sacred timeline is artificial.
That's true.
So it is what it is. You're not pruning Cap.
Only that version of Cap. I like the version of Cap in What If, where he's that stomper or whatever.
Oh,
What is he? The stomper?
Hydra Stomper.
Hydra stomper.
Mm.
I like that version.
Yeah, he never gets the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Little Cap.
Little Cap. Little Cap. Okay. So let's see what's going on with headlines.
Yeah, there's a lot of business news, especially since we're not doing as many episodes. The business news kind of stacks up.
So it looks like the SAG strike is over.
Yeah, so basically that was the second of the two strikes.
Yes.
The writer strike ended like a few weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, that's, things are going to be moving forward. Not everyone, not even all the members of SAG were satisfied, but I think they got like 80-something% because they vote to see if they want to accept the conditions. I got some, kind of dot points as to what was in there, just kind of a condensed version. There's, wage increases, obviously. That's what is in every negotiation. Wage minimums for performers will increase by 7% effective immediately, followed by another 4% in July of 2024 and another 3.5% bump in July of 2025. Minimums for background actors, stand-ins, and photo doubles will also increase, rising to 11%. Well, a rise of 11%. That's effective immediately, followed by another 4% in year 2 of the contract and another 3.5% in year 3.
Okay.
One of the big things was AI that everyone was talking about. So basically, in cases where they want to use a digital replica of the likeness or voice, and that's not really AI, but it's tech, and they might use AI to fill in the gaps, right, make it more human. They just have to get clear and conspicuous consent from the performer, and they have to pay the performer the same amount as if they would have appeared naturally in the project. So yeah, I can see,
Yeah.
but still doesn't answer a lot of questions as okay, because typically so like when you have the Avengers, let's just use that for an example, and then you have like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. They could use any scenes from Thor going forward forever. Like they could, they used them in Loki, like the first episode, right? There was the Avengers thing, and they kind of just used different angles or whatever. And I'm sure they already have like appearance fees for that. The question is, do they own those in perpetuity? So can they use those
For other stuff.
For other stuff, like how do they have limitations on changing it? Because with AI, you could take somebody's, uniform,
Face
change them into a
yeah.
different character,
Yeah.
or they're playing a different character, and you can do all kinds of weird stuff. So I don't know about that, and I think maybe that's why. Because Jason Bateman said there's not enough restrictions on it, but they agreed to it. And again, it's like, what do you want to see in 100 years? I think this is good enough for the actors who are working today. May not be good enough for the actors who are working in the future. So, and then the last big thing I have down is the streaming. Performers will be granted a streaming bonus in addition to residuals if their program is viewed by at least 20% of the streaming platform's domestic subscribers within the first 90 days of release. So at least that's a solid
Kind of similar
number.
to the the writer's
Yeah.
contract about streaming.
25% of that bonus will go to a newly created streaming payment distribution fund, which will be used for streaming bonuses for additional performers. The new contract would also require streaming companies to share viewership data with the guild.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like, do you really want to see it? Because it might not be as big of numbers as you thought.
Yeah. And is the guild under obligations to keep that under an NDA? That's what I don't know. So, because
yeah, because the writer's one is subject to an NDA.
Yeah, and the guild's huge, right? It could be anybody. I could just be doing a commercial. Do I get to see the numbers, or is it just the guild leaders? So that's the kind of details I don't know. Because I could be like, yeah, I did a couple of commercials, and I get those numbers. Then I start talking to my cousin who's a stockbroker, and then, I could take Disney stock or whoever, Netflix, whatever it is, because the numbers aren't what everyone thinks. So, yeah. And I'm expecting to see some future lawsuits because I guarantee you there's going to be a dispute over the accuracy of the numbers. So Netflix is going to say, I'm just using them as an example. They're going to say, yeah, the next Stranger Things, came in we underperformed, and we only got, let's say, 30 million viewers, and then they're like, no, we think it's 100 million viewers, and it's like, they're going to be, prove it. But how do you prove it? You got to use their tech. They got to use their platforms. It's not like there's like a ticker tape, thing that you could see in everyone's office, or like it's not like the stock market where you could just see it on a big board or something. Right. It's their private numbers on their private servers. So I don't know how they're going to guarantee that those numbers are accurate, but we'll see.
I guess they get audited. I don't know, like
they could get audited.
Or something.
Well, that's but usually an audit comes from a lawsuit. So the audit either has to be built into the contract where they have a right to audit. But if it's not built into the contract, they're going to have to go through a lawsuit to audit. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know all the details, but at least it's over, and some of our projects that we're looking forward to will move ahead. So we will see.
Well, the next thing is The Marvels. We went to see it last Friday.
Yeah.
And looks like it is the worst MCU box office opening. 110 million globally, 47 million domestic.
Yep. And I can't say that I'm so shocked or surprised.
And a lot of people had low expectations for it, so they might be like, I guess I'll just wait till it comes on Disney Plus.
Well, a lot of people didn't even know it came out.
Because of the strike, no one was promoting it.
There's no promotion for it. And then...
So there's like a lot of variables.
And I hate to say it, like... See, I don't want to say... And I don't want to be one of those guys like, oh, it's misogyny or blah, blah, blah. This... But, it is one of those things that your typical guy like me. I'm a guy who's a Gen Xer, and then there's, people like me who are in the generation above me and the generation below me, the millennials, right? They're mostly guys who grew up on comic books. I'm not saying that the girls didn't. Like Valanda grew up on comic books, and she's 60, right? But, our friend Rolanda, my work mom. But the vast majority of like nerds were guys, nerds who were into comic books, and sci-fi stuff.
Because Captain Marvel didn't do well either.
It did better.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is the worst. But
the worst of the other Avenger movies at that time.
Well, it had the benefit of being a lead into Infinity War.
Yeah, that's right.
So. Being a lead into Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
So it was in between Infinity War and Endgame, and then it kind of, the extra credit scene led into Endgame. Yeah, it is. So I don't think it's like a misogynistic thing. I think it's just an organic thing. It's just that like dudes watching dudes. I think that's it. That has to be an effect. You can't say the one thing we know in Math Madness is that a stimulus will always affect the numbers. It'll always affect the pool of numbers, and then the question is how much and what direction.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well, it had so many other stuff going against, like too many things going against it.
I
Like,
mean, we'll do a full review of this later.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you what happens in the movie now. We're not doing a review now.
no, I'm just saying the environment.
Right.
It's like, okay, it's already like nobody can promote it because of the strikes.
Mm.
And then it's already like phase 5.
Yeah.
Phase 5 has already like not had good numbers. Like,
yeah.
so that people were like, oh, this is going to suck too. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And then it
And
had
then it says
like
the Captain Marvel stigma. Well, a lot of people didn't like
Captain
the first,
Marvel stigma,
the
yeah.
first Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give any spoilers. I liked it better than the first Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I liked Amani. Is that her name? Amani? Ms. Marvel,
Mhm.
the actress. She's the star of the show.
She was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not say we won't say anymore, but yeah, it had a lot, man. So the strike being over, I think that's good news for Disney because they can at least get back to that. But actually having the strike in the pause, the little pause they had, may have given them a chance to reassess some things. And because all these movies that are like Phase 5 and Phase 4, these things were being written and proposed and greenlit, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, well, is this going to change the way they do things? It's like, well, no, they're already going to change the way they do things, but the change that you see isn't going to be for another few years from now, because that's going to be the stories that are being written now,
Like even
So
Daredevil.
if you didn't like Quantum Mania, Ant-Man, Quantum Mania, and if people were going to make changes, if that happened, you're not going to see a change from that until like
way-
2026.
Yeah. Because even
So-
Daredevil Born Again, half of it was already done. And then they made changes. So
Yeah.
they said just expect it to look half like this and half like that because they were changing directions and then they just got rid of the whole entire team, got a new team, but then they already shot the first half episodes or whatever.
Yep.
Like maybe like 5 episodes have already been shot.
Right.
So they're saying, the first 5 episodes might look different.
Yeah.
And then they change directions. So it's, yeah.
And then, and then there's the people who are, and then I already said, we already hit peak geek with Endgame.
Yeah.
It's going to be downhill from there.
Yeah.
That was, and I don't even know if that's a bad thing. It's just that you don't want to, it's kind of like in the stock market or anything that you're investing in, you don't want to buy when it's high. I think they started investing more after Endgame. It's like, nah, dude, that's the peak. That's the top.
Yeah,
Why would
yeah.
you buy a house at the top of the market?
Right.
You might want to slow down after that.
Yeah.
Make things more rare. Because I think they were kind of on the like, well, now anything we put a Marvel sticker on, people are going to buy a Marvel label, and that's partly true.
Yeah.
But
Like we'll still go watch Star Wars and Marvel stuff only because we're fans, but we don't expect anything to be.
but we're
as
not.
good as-
But we're not. But we also have a low bar.
yeah.
Like me and you. I mean, we are. If it's something is generic Marvel, we think that's a win.
Yeah.
If
It's
some-
entertaining. I never feel like walking out of the theater. I never feel like, oh my gosh, what a waste of my hour and a half or 2 hours. I
Yeah.
always like, I was entertained for 2 hours. It was fine.
Right. And I think that, and if it wasn't Marvel, I think people would be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
The problem is that Marvel has these expectations now because people somehow tie success to corporatism, and it's like, well, dude, it was Endgame. It was $1.5 billion movie. It almost made $2 billion. It's like, and now these movies are making like $100 million. It's like, what are you guys doing? It's like, well, they got to figure that out. That's not my problem. Well, it kind of is. I'm a shareholder, but it's one of those things where, what would your expectation be for a movie that's not Marvel? That's the way I look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I look at it like the Marvel and Star Wars get the biggest criticism because of their fan base. And no other movies get that kind of criticism.
Hmm.
Now it's one of those things where it's like a CEO complaining. Yeah, well, everyone blames me. Well, yeah, you're the CEO. You're making like $20 million a year. You know what I mean? Like, take it. So I'm not saying that we should cry for
Right.
Marvel or whatever. But at the same time, you because you're a part of that brand, you're going to get the heat.
Yeah.
When you don't do it, when you don't meet expectations, and your expectations are going to be higher than others. Your expectations are going to be way higher than some indie film that costs like $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is what it is. I do think they're going to try to pull some things together. The end credit scene is probably worth the price of admission in and of itself.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about that in our spoiler review when we do it. But yeah, it is what it is. Marvel is never going to get to those endgame numbers again. But it shouldn't, because that was historic. When something is historic, you call it
You don't
historic for a
want it.
reason.
Yeah.
It's historic for a reason, So, yeah.
Yeah. So with the strikes being over, there are now new movie dates for MCU movies.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 is moving from May 3rd, 2024 to July 26th, 2024. Not that long of a wait. It's just a few months.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to go see it on your birthday weekend anymore.
No.
Captain America Brave New World is now February 14th, 2025.
Mm.
The Thunderbolts is also a movie. It's moving from December 20th, 2024, and it's now not until July 25th, 2025 that's coming out. The Blade reboot is now scheduled for November 7th, 2025.
Yeah. So that means the Secret Wars, the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars are going to be pushed back to probably 2027.
These don't include the Disney Plus shows. I don't even know what shows are lined up. I guess Daredevil, Echo, and all that stuff.
Yeah. They're probably going to be close
War
to the
Machine.
same dates. Like Echo's coming out in January. It was supposed to come out like now, but they get
That's
pushed back
right.
a few
They're
months.
supposed to release all of it at once or something.
Think they still are.
I'm still
um,
curious.
The trailer's out. It came out.
Yes, the trailer came out. Looks good. I'm still curious because I saw the meme because Echo's part of the Daredevil universe,
Mm-hmm.
and people were like, "How does Echo and Daredevil communicate?" I was like, "Oh yeah, she is part of that Daredevil universe. So how do they communicate in the books? I don't know."
Well, I mean, no,
Tapping?
kind
Maybe
of.
she taps
Mm-hmm.
him. I don't know. Anyways, that's in itself isn't enough to motivate me to watch both. But anyways,
It'll be fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, since we're on movies and stuff, I just thought this was interesting, and I don't know if it was Universal trying or DC trying to catch up with Marvel now that they think Marvel is not doing as well as they were, and they're trying to catch up to Marvel.
But Marvel, but let's keep it real. Marvel's still the number
Yeah.
one superhero franchise.
they're still the number one, but they can always dream. Like Universal's always trying to catch up with Disney, right? So there's speculation from Variety that Universal will very likely buy DC WB, which is the DC movies, DC Universe, in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's Universal's other attempt at, Epic World by DC. Maybe we'll be like Disney.
Keep sniffling. Oh my god.
I thought you were going to say keep dreaming.
Yeah. I don't think dreams are going to be enough because they're even worse than Marvel. Like their movies are like
Yeah, but they're
huge
thinking that
disappointment.
now that Marvel's not doing as well as they used, not in their heyday anymore, they can catch up. If they bought DC and tried to, quote, fix it, right? Or whatever.
But it's like they're assuming that Marvel's doing things wrong. Marvel really isn't doing anything wrong. It's just that it became an oversaturated industry.
Yeah.
So again, you don't buy at the top of the market.
Mhm.
It's one of those things where if if I don't know, what were they? Beanie Babies. All right.
Oh yeah.
Beanie Babies were big and they got huge and then they started to go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's not when you open like a teeny baby, store.
Like another.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
I can get them now.
Now I got them. It's like no.
Now I
It's
can
like
catch up to them.
it's an industry thing. It's not particular to the company.
Yeah, that's true.
People have superhero fatigue.
Mhm.
Especially people who aren't nerds.
Yeah.
Now there's people who are going to be, who always criticize superhero movies. And they every Marvel movie that's come out in the last few years, they've criticized it. It's kind of like, yeah, but you keep going. Like you know what I mean? You keep complaining, but you keep going.
Right.
So, and you can say the same about the Star Wars movies. The Star Wars movies under Kathleen Kennedy, each one of them made over $1 billion. The sequels.
Mm-hmm.
They whine all you want. Like she did her job.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't like to hear that, but that's the cold hard facts of this world. Like, if they probably had a number,
Mm-hmm.
and if they make over that number, you've either met or exceeded expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way business works. And so if I don't know what the number is for the Marvels, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that number is 500 million and they hit it, then they're going to be happy.
It's fine. Yeah.
They're going to be happy. If it comes in below, they're not going to be happy. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care if everyone says it's the greatest movie or not. It's just they have a number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Oh, man.
So there's new pin trading rules. I don't know how I feel because it's like, leave them alone. I don't use those benches anyways. So there have been complaints.
And I don't know if we should attach our other story to this one.
What other story? Well, let me just say, okay,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I don't know if this happens at Disney World, but at Disneyland, we have benches in Frontierland
Mm-hmm.
where it's just known to be where pin traders are, where people come and they put their binders of pins or display of pins on those benches, and people come and do pin trading there. So that's just known that those benches are there for pin traders. So I don't know. It never bothered me because I don't go to Disneyland to sit on a bench. So anyways, there were complaints like, oh, they're picking up all the benches. So I guess now Disney finally has rules on pin trading, and they finally have like a designated table, those round tables,
Yeah.
for pin trading. And so pin traders now are not supposed to use the benches anymore. And there's a whole list of rules on the website that says you can only bring this size binder, whatever.
Yeah.
All this list of rules. And everyone's like, oh, happy. Yeah, finally. But I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad of a situation. I just know, okay, that's where the pin traders are. It's fine. I mean, I never sit at that bench anyways. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and then here's the thing. You go into the next story
Third-party tours?
because it's kind of related in the sense
Oh.
that
That's what I was going to say. So now they're saying there's no
This is at
third-party
Walt Disney World.
tours at Walt Disney World, but I didn't even know there were third-party tours going on.
That's what Johnny wanted to do, remember? He wanted
Yeah,
to be
but
the
that's just a side
No,
thing. Like,
every-
hey,
this-
buddy,
this-
come
this-
take me.
Of course. Anytime there's a big business, there's going to be people who make money off of that business. And so they're cracking down because basically they're saying it's a commercial. You're conducting commercial activities within the park, right? It's so like, and I understand, like with the pin trading and with this, like I understand why people are going to, like as a guest or as a Disney fan, like I'm like, leave those people alone. As somebody who's in HR, as somebody who's in business, I'm like, yeah, they kind of got to do that because you can't allow something from a certain group of people and not others. Like when they kicked that one dude out for selling the ears.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be like, we don't allow commercial activities in the park because if they wanted to sue him based on that, or based on trespassing or whatever, like if he came back, he could be like, well, they let them, right? It's almost like defending a copyright. Like if somebody uses your logo, your trademark or something or a copyright, and you don't defend it, that's your past practice.
Right.
And then when you try to defend it against somebody else, it's like, well, you didn't defend it against these other 3 people.
Right.
Then that can be ruled against you in court.
But the pin trading's not really. They're not selling anything. They're just.
Yeah, but it's
Hey,
an
I'll trade you for
activity. So
this.
it's like if I came there and I wanted to do rope dropping knowledge stuff and I took up a bench and they say you can't do that. I'm like, why? Pin traders are. It's like you can't. It's hard for a business to maintain consistency within their practice and policy when you allow one group of people to do something because of who doesn't have a written contract with you. By the way, they're just normal citizens
Right.
to do something and not allow another group of normal citizens to do something. I could even
Well,
claim
now-
discrimination. That's what's going to happen. And
But now even more so because now it's on their website like, oh, there's designated areas to pin trade, and here's our rules on how to pin trade, like only
Right.
Disney official pins, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But now you're like supporting it. You might
No,
as well
the-
be silent before and say, hey, these benches are for guests, and just leave it at that. Like, I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
then because that'll get more of a backlash because now the pin traders are just be on social media saying that this thing that we've been doing for the last 50 years, they now they won't let us do it, as opposed to no, now we have a place for you to do it. I think that was actually handled appropriately.
Yeah, I think so.
Because now if somebody else comes in and tries to do like sock trading or puppet trading,
ears trading,
ears
right?
trading
Disney
or
ear
whatever,
trading
they could say no. There's something strictly written within our policies for
pins only,
and they have to follow these guidelines, and so they have that to fall back on if whether you like it or not, and that gives the authority for security to be like, yeah, we can kick you out because this is it. People just need to be empowered by something, and it can't be subjective. Not when you're a big company,
right?
So and we see this in HR all the time. It's like, well, you let this person do this. Well, can't I do this? And it's just like,
this
it's
is
like-
actually more reasonable than I thought what they would do. I thought they would just designate that picnic area outside of the gate to pin trade. Because it's like, oh, now good, you don't have to buy a ticket to pay pins. So this is actually good. There's an area in the park
yeah.
and right next to where they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, so I thought before they were going to be like, hey, just go to the picnic area next to the bathroom.
Yeah, and because you never know. I mean, it could be exploited by people who are not as nice as the pin traders that have always been there.
That's true too.
And so you have to kind of protect yourself and guests from that. I always tell people, and again, you know me, I'm Mr. HR, but you don't make your policies and practice based on your best employees. You make them based on your worst.
Yeah.
If you make them based on your best, you'll be like, oh, anything goes. Yeah, come in when you feel like you can come in. You need to do what you need to do because your best employees are never going to let you down. But what happens when you come with the one employee who's horrible? Well, you got to then grant the same stuff to them. And they're just like, yeah, I feel like coming in once a week.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but that's the pin traders. Yeah, the third party tour guides I didn't know was a thing. If I'd known, I would have bought it. Right? It's much cheaper than a plaid.
Yeah.
But apparently Disney World doesn't allow that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing: it's like if somebody gets ripped off, then who are they going to sue? They're going to sue Disney. If somebody gets hurt or somebody, just anything that can happen.
Disney if they bought it from a
you can sue anybody
It's
for
the same
anything.
as buying tickets from a travel agent instead of Disney.
Yeah, but most travel agents are authorized through Disney. There's a big process to become an official Disney. That's why
true.
you have to jump through all these hoops
Yeah.
to become an authorized Disney person. What is it? You have to have like so many years as a travel agent and so many years. I don't know what it is. But their program is hard. And then people work for those travel agencies, as agents. But then the travel agency itself had to jump through a lot of hoops and spend a lot of years to do that. And you can't, because once you do that, it could be a bad experience. You're allowing other people to control aspects of your park.
Mm.
So,
And they have their own service that does this. So,
mhm.
you know, it
And I don't even think Disney's worried about losing money on it. It's more about I don't want somebody. It's kind of like
misrepresenting their brand or something.
could be misrepresenting the brand, but they're just having control over your parks. It's like I'm controlling your tickets. This is what we want to do. I'm controlling Genie Plus times. These people are coming here. If there's a complaint, they're going to still complain to Disney,
Yeah.
even if they shouldn't.
Right, right,
You
right.
know what I mean? And it's still, on a very basic level, they're conducting business based on the Disney IP,
Right.
on Disney property, using Disney property for their business. And
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and we're saying that that's not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're allowing these people to do it, it is allowed.
Mm.
Just because they haven't harmed anyone, that's not really, the court doesn't care about that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'll start selling stuff at Disney right now.
Yeah, it's like
Start selling rope dropping dollars T-shirts.
well, no, it's like all right, give me $50 and I'll stand in line for a tote bag for you, like that.
Yeah,
Like, stuff
yeah,
like
they
that.
don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
It ruins the magic.
You want my Rise of the Resistance? I can't make that. Or not Rise of Resistance,
what
but
about,
you want my
the-
Genie Plus thing? I can't make it. Here, give me $10 and I'll give this to you,
Yeah,
the screenshot to you.
Yeah,
Like
you
that.
you could make a lot of money like that, and you could do it to where you could set up a website to where you could sell lightning lanes. Literally, you could.
Right.
And we have the technology to do it. It'd be actually fairly simple. It's like boom, you get an email of a screenshot of your lightning lane.
Yeah.
Boom, and within 10 seconds you get it.
Yeah.
I pay $40 for a lightning lane. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
hmm
I'll mobile order for you. Just
Yeah, a mobile order.
I'll
lightning
just be your Disney DoorDasher,
Mhm.
where it's like I'll charge like a $3
Remember the
service
people-
charge.
The women from like the Northeast who were going down to Disney with a disabled child to get into the
Oh yeah, the DOS
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And I think this was even before DOS. I think they would just let you go in line. I'm not quite sure. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, they were borrowing. There was this operation where they borrowed
Yeah.
kids or paid kids to.
Yeah, because they had money,
Yeah.
and they were just like, well, I'll take this kid who has a disability,
Mhm.
and it's like Disney doesn't want that luck.
Right, right. Yeah, Disney cracked down on that one.
Yeah.
But
So.
it is a good business idea. 50 cents surcharge for me to mobile order for you. You want a gingerbread man this holiday season? Just kidding. I will do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh, this is sad. So, iconic Disneyland voices, Bill Rogers and his wife Camille. So these are the two folks that say in the morning or park announcements,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
boys and girls.
Yeah.
And
Let's
then,
give them
you
an
know,
applause on their way
Yes.
out.
So Bill Rogers has been doing this for 32 years.
Wow.
That's his voice that we've been hearing. And his wife's been doing it for 11 years. I think she does it over at DCA.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like Disney's not renewing their contract.
No.
So they're only going to do it for a little while longer. Then after that, the voices will change. And people are sad about this because they think it's just hiring somebody younger and cheaper, or maybe using an AI. I don't know. I don't know whose voices we'll hear. We don't rope drop, so we never hear it.
Their stuff is recorded too, so we just keep using them.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, they said, I don't know.
I mean,
I
at
don't know
least
what they
at least
mean
for
by-
the general announcements, they could. But
yeah.
hopefully, they'll get some money if they do that.
No, they said that they're leaving. That we'll only hear their voices only a little while longer, and they're moving on
Okay.
due to casting changes at the Disneyland resorts. So that's sad.
All right.
And then real quickly, I got just the talks of got this from Johnny though. There's some rumors or talks that Peltz and Perlmutter, Nelson Peltz is the Tryon guy that was trying to get a seat at the board, but
Yeah.
he let it go. But then now there's some sort of, Perlmutter is the former chair of Marvel Entertainment that got canned. But now the two of them are like some conspiracy to get Iger to resign.
Yeah.
So that's just something that I heard from Johnny.
We'll
so.
see.
we'll-
Anytime stock prices take a
Yeah.
big hit, or then
The CEO has to leave when the stock prices
Kramer,
are low.
who's not always reliable on MSNBC, said this is the time to buy Disney. He said it's the best media
'cause
stock
it's
you can
cheap.
buy. It's cheap and they're huge. So
Yeah.
anytime you see something that cheap or huge, you got to bet. Are they going out of business? That's
No.
not likely because they have too much IP, they have too much real
Mhm.
estate, they have too many assets.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm not giving financial advice. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, don't
But
go
this is what-
buying stock
yeah,
saying
that
Brian
would-
told
yeah.
me to.
But how often can you buy a huge, mega corp stock at the prices Disney is currently
Yeah,
at?
like $80 a share or
Not
something.
very often. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll see.
Did you hit the wrong button
I'm
again?
still sick. Yeah.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
Well, maybe that did deserve that horn button. Because we're talking about the shipwreck. And this is different from the shipwreck at Trader Sam's. Because Trader Sam's also has a shipwreck that's
Yeah.
made of something entirely different. And then they do the whole...
Yeah. The
Show
singing
and stuff.
the-
This one is the shipwreck from the Magic Key Terrace. And it's made of Bacardi rum, Gifford's passion fruit liqueur, orgeat, coconut milk, orgeat, I don't know. Coconut milk and lime juice, topped with Myers dark rum and aromatic bitters.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
It's very creamy and milky because of the coconut milk. It's good. It's very tasty.
It's not as good as our new Pim's favorite thing,
Oh, yeah,
the
it's-
Thanos pop.
No, this is like a fruity, not fruity, like a sweet cocktail that's good. If you want like a buzz, it's not that strong.
No,
it's
it's
just a
something
fun
to sip
drink.
and chill on.
Yeah.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd say 7
Yeah.
as well. I mean, it's something different. I just wanted to try it because of the milkiness.
Alrighty.
We have a date for Fantasmic. Fantasmic will officially return to Disneyland on May 24th.
Without the dragon.
2024. No Murphy, but there is still a new scene. They said that where Mickey still fights with Maleficent, or not fights, but I forgot what they
Battles,
battles
duels.
Maleficent, but not Murphy.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Lame.
Hey, Hannah and Bethany are at Disney World now, and last night they caught. I don't know if it was last night or tonight, but they caught Fantasmic, and they said it was really good. So at Disney World, I don't know if it's the same, but
Don't know.
anyways. Great Maple is opening November 15th. That's the day. That's Wednesday. At the Paradise Pier Hotel, soon to be Pixar Place Hotel.
Yeah. It's going to be crowded. Californians love breakfast.
I don't know if San Diegans do, but I don't know if people in Orange County do.
They do too. It's SoCal, coastal people. They just love brunch and
I don't know
breakfast.
why. I don't
Breakfast and brunch.
understand that. I can make eggs at home.
Yeah.
Eggs are so easy
well,
to
then
make.
go home and stop taking up the line for people who want to
I
eat
don't.
breakfast.
Every time you want breakfast, I'm just like, why? I'll make it
That's
right now.
food.
Although I did go get pancakes
Yeah.
because I was too lazy to make it. So we have cool places down the street from our house that you can go to brunch at too.
There's breakfast places in Asia. They just serve different food.
Where?
In Asia.
Yeah.
Your continent.
It's not eggs that you can make at home.
In Taiwan, they have eggs. They have egg pancakes. They have eggs on top of different things.
Yeah, it's on top of different things, but this is just eggs. Sunny side up, scrambled. I can do it. I can do either of those.
Yeah. It's nice for you. there's walking apps, but you can walk around your living room. I mean, I don't know what your point is.
My point is, I don't understand
You don't
why
understand.
breakfast is so important.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand. Well, I understand.
Why going out to brunch is so important. Waffles.
It's a
I
social
understand.
thing. It's good. I mean, it's good food. You eat it. You like it.
Yeah, I try to order stuff I can't make, like eggs Benedict, because I don't know how to poach an egg.
Any restaurant in the world, you can make at home.
But not easily.
Yeah.
So if it's not easy to make, then I understand going out to eat it.
Yeah.
And I can't wake up that early to enjoy
It's my
brunch.
right as an American.
Okay.
Stop trying to take away my
Cap.
freedom. All right.
All right. So World of Color 1 at Disney California Adventure will be closed from January 8th through February 29th
That was a while.
for refurbishing. Refurbish what?
They had to clean out the spouts. I mean,
They were
actually,
closed for like 5 years, weren't they? I don't know.
I
It
don't
just
know.
seemed like World of Color has been closed for so long, and then it finally opened, and now it's like refurbished again.
yeah. I mean, I think water is the most one of the most, if not the most destructive force on Earth next to gravity.
That's true,
Gravity and water.
Those
is-
spouts can get like moldy or bacteria or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and I'm sure even the electronics needs to be reserviced. And if they come out with a new show, I mean, I don't know. So
Oh, well, World of Color 1 will come back. Because right now it's like that Christmas version
mhm.
of World of Color. 1 paused for a while, but then it's going to pause again.
So when is it? It's from January 8th to February 29th. So basically, all
That's
of
not bad.
Lunar New Year, though. They used to have that Lunar New Year special
Oh,
one.
yeah.
So they're not going to have that this year, I guess. Because
No.
Lunar New Year starts on the 10th of February.
Well, good for you. You know that. I didn't know that.
That's because I care not only about American breakfast, but your holidays.
Whatever. You don't care.
I knew that you didn't.
You only care because you want to know what kind of fortune you will have.
Yes.
You base your fortune on the New Year calendar. As you should, because that's what Chinese people do.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sick. And I'm not getting pneumonia attention, as Bill Burr would say.
Yeah, I'm not giving you pneumonia. I do too. I bought you soup.
The guys complaining about not getting enough attention from their wives when they're sick.
They want pneumonia attention.
It's like, I could have had pneumonia. You're like, well, yeah, I bought you soup. That's what his wife said, right? I bought you soup.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, we're having guests over. Come do this, do that, do this." It's like, what? I'm sick.
No, I'm over there coughing my lungs out, and you're talking to Hannah about cruises.
Oh yeah. And I was like, "What Brian think? What Brian think?" I'm excited to hear what Brian thinks. I'm like, "Oh, he hasn't read it yet."
Duh, 'cause I'm sick. Yeah.
Well, the cruise was it's supposed to be for my birthday, but whatever.
Planning your birthday when I'm dying on the couch. Whatever. All right. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.